Evening, folks. This is BLAPPS, Better Living and Positive Propaganda System. I'm here to talk about my philosophy, Black's philosophy. It has been a positive influence on my life, pretty much for the all of it, because I started a long time ago asking myself big questions, mainly about religion, because that's what people were obsessed with in my family. So I became skeptical very early, 9 years old, and I discovered that the more I researched into statements that people made about their beliefs, their systems, the more I realized it's not factual, none of it is. And people hung onto their belief and their faith because it was a crutch. It's their teddy bear. They can't help it. It gives them comfort. Okay. It's faith and belief because they have no knowledge of anything. There's no evidence anywhere from anyone ever. People will bring on a philosophical argument about, oh, you're an atheist, so where's your morality? Where's your ethics and morals come from? And I say, well, I'm also a martial artist. You know nothing about me if I'm an atheist, apart from you have no evidence for what you're saying about your God. Therefore, I don't believe in it. You say you got a dragon, prove it. You can't. I don't believe you got a dragon. Simple thing, right? So I've asked everyone, Pope, Imam, Sheikh. You know, it's not like I have to go up to these people and ask them. They are pointedly showing me they don't believe in what they're talking about any more than I do. And it's all be about profit, money, power, control. That's all religion is about. So I've developed 10 reasons why I'm an atheist. I could tell you why I became an atheist real quick. It's quite funny because my little brother was about 7 and he wanted stuff for Christmas. And my elder brother said, you're not getting anything for Christmas because Father Christmas doesn't exist. So he's crying. So I've come in as a comforter and said to him, don't worry about what he says. Mum and Dad, you've been a bad boy this year, so no Father Christmas coming for you. But Mum and Dad are going to get you something out of the catalogue. So if you'll behave yourself next year, Father Christmas will get you exactly what you want. Okay. And he's okay. My dad come in, who's crying? He needs to know if someone's crying, it better be for a good reason, because if it's not him, for big enough, then there's got better be a damn good reason why someone's crying. So I go to him, well, Raymond told my elder brother told my little brother there's no Father Christmas. He goes, oh, okay. So you believe in Father Christmas? I goes, Dad, I'm 9. I'm grown. Come on, let's be serious. What about Jesus? It's his birthday, right? I was like, well, I don't think he existed. All right. Check out in the books. Go and research it. Prove that Jesus didn't exist. Now, my dad bought books. He bought lots of books, hundreds of books. He had Reader's Digest and all that kind of stuff. He had hundreds of books. I've grown up with a library. I've now got my own personal library of 4,000 books for myself. I love books, constantly reading, always given a lot of time in the day to read something somewhere. I feel it's the best compliment human beings have given to the future of humanity. That they believe they can give something to it to better it, and they put it down on paper, which is why we've got the Bible and Torah, Quran, blah blah, and all the other great books. So I set myself. I went to the Encyclopedia Britannica, which was our prehistoric Google back then, a little AI help, and I went through it. And my dad had books like Jesus was a magician, Hebrew is Greek. So I could go deep as I wanted to, and I went deep as I wanted to. Read the Bible a couple of times all the way through in my research, and to this day I cannot prove that Jesus exists. So the reasons that I came up with are nothing to do with scripture, because I straight away, if I was to go, I watch Speaker's Corner all the time. I watch debates all the time, because to me there's nothing to debate. So I'm wondering, what are they debating about on something that no one can prove? It's unfalsifiable. So what are they debating? So it's always your feelings against my feelings. And I'm just like, why bother, you know? And then I was watching Speaker's Corner, and they had a Jew talking to a Christian, talking to a Muslim in a little group. They were just talking about their religion. I was like, this is the world right here. This is not a joke. Like a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim walk into a pub. It's the actual world we're seeing here. This one little dynamic. They're chatting about basic stuff in their books to each other. You're wrong because of this. No, you're wrong because of this. No, you're actually wrong because of this. And they all needed each other, because as soon as the atheist comes up, he'll be chuckling in the background like, all you're talking rubbish, you know that, right? And none of your gods exist. And they'll look at him like, oh, well, you're an atheist. What do you know? Like it's a dirty word. But I've never been harmed by anyone calling me that. I don't care if you think I am. I've got family that show that I've been talking about these religions for 4 decades, 5 decades, because I've got family members who are in every religion, you know, different religions are represented in my family. So, and we've been chatting about these at Christmas and all kind of cookout and all kind. Anyway, so I'm ready to argue with anyone who's got a bit of faith. And so these reasons are more to do with if you had real evidence, or if we just talked on a reality level about what would happen if there was a God, or, you know, if it was proven that there was a God. Okay, so the first reason of 10 is a simple one. There's no evidence ever. There's no evidence at all, ever, by anyone since the dawn of time to now. None. From anyone. So there's no evidence that anything in these books existed, apart from places. So I can say Jesus existed, right? Well, so did Spider-Man, because New York is real. Spider-Man lives in New York, and I met him at Comic-Con. I shook his hand, took a picture with him. And I met 4 other Spider-Mans that day as well. They were in different costumes, but they're all Spider-Man. So I touched them, they're real. So where's your God? Can you do that with yours? No. Okay, cool. So there's no evidence. And coming out with factual, the stories from a book that they're calling historical is funny to me. It's historical only because they're talking about real countries in these books, and so that's where it finishes. I read that a guy called made the Pentateuch, and he wrote didactic poems, and these were learning poems which were plotting. He was in Egypt, and he was plotting the movements of the stars and making stories up about them, like they were actual characters. That one went over there and had war with this one, and that one had a baby with this one. So he's plotting the movement of stars and teaching them, the students, through these poems. And his books, the 5 of them, became known as the Pentateuch. And I'll remember his name in a minute. And Dorotheus of Sidon. Okay, now it seems a bit wild that Dorotheus of Sidon is a guy that's just doing research and plotting and got bored and made up stories and entertained people. There's no TV back then. It's way back. It's like 100 BC, 100 years BC, way back. So he was learning in Egypt at the time where all the philosophers went. And Dorotheus of Sidon made up these things. So why can't the Pentateuch become the Torah, and then the 5 books of Moses learned in Egypt, and there were 42 negative confessions of Ma'at in Egypt, and he could have taken the 10 that he remembered because he studied there, apparently, right? Taking it from these religious books. They made up this guy. And why can't that become the basis of religion? And then you got Christianity bursting from that because it's for different people, and then you got Islam bursting from those two for their people, and it's in their languages. And then why would God have a language anyway? Let's get on to number 2. We're going to be here all night. All right, so you have faith and belief as a religious person, which means you have no knowledge. That's the reason why you have faith. Faith is believing in something to be true, even when there's no evidence, in spite of there being no evidence. So that's the second reason. The third reason, if it was a book written by a god, it should float. It should be strange to me that this book would have anything to do with humans. The book should open as I walk up to it, and it would be blank pages, yet I could read, or it would speak to me in my language that I understand. And it will be thousands of years old, but will look crisp and brand new, and no one can damage it. No bullet, no gun, no knife. And it'd just be there. It would appear on the top of a mountain, blah, blah, blah. It's not phantasmagorical enough. It's just written by men, obviously. Obviously. What are we on? 4th reason. I have morality and ethics from teaching martial arts, from learning martial arts and now teaching martial arts. So there's the martial code, how to deal with your family. There's a hierarchy in teaching, the grandmaster, master, instructor, student, your sister, your brother in martial arts, and that can be carried on through Black's philosophy to deal with the world, the mother nature. Father is the sun, the sun, which means light and health, and the grandfather time, and the stars and quasars. The moon is your uncle or auntie, and the stars and quasars are your friends, family, and people that are influencing your life. So it's not about you saying, okay, I have to learn it from a man that wrote it in a book, and then I was brought up with it by my parents who read that book. So therefore, my morality came from the person who made it up in the book. No, my morality came from people who understood, from the baby, from people who understood it's bad to steal, it's bad to punch someone in the mouth, it's bad to hurt others, it's bad to rape, pillage, and steal. Okay, it's better that we help each other live and blah blah blah. So it's easy to get a book together and write laws that everyone should start by, especially when you're trying to get control. So people are saying you got all these rules in your book and you say it's by your gods. Why should we believe you? Oh, my gods. Oh, wow. You should. Hey, I'm glad you asked. My God is the toughest. It's the strongest. He had a son. He made it from a woman who was never had any men. Yeah, miracle baby. And he grew up and he could do miracles, and it's tough. And he was nice and he did good things. So your God is a human being? Not really, but it gets too complicated, too silly, and it's obvious that men just started measuring measuring appendages and saying, believe me or die by my sword, and so the winners employed the rules, made you a slave, and we carried on. Now we've got morality. But as soon as a baby is playing on the carpet, and another baby comes over and takes a brick, the baby's like, "What you doing? That's my brick. What you doing?" Goes over, takes it back. Now the other baby comes over, slaps him, takes the brick back. Now, and so we're learning that people get upset when you steal their property. You didn't ask for it, you didn't wager for it, you didn't exchange anything, you just no. So you make up rules so it doesn't happen again. We're saving each other problems later on. Simple stuff. 5. The Earth. This is my favorite one. The Earth is 4.7 billion years old. I don't mind if you figure 6,000 years, but let's go with what's more likely here. The universe is 13.8 billion. And we're saying the expansion of the universe, Big Bang. Let's call it a Big Bang. It's an expansion, and it could be an expansion of one part of the known universe that was existing all the time, and this part expanded and became another part of the whole universe, and so therefore that happened at 30 million. It does matter anyway. So 4.8 billion years from the time that Big Bang expansion happened, there could be another planet that cooled down, that had life on it. There's trillions of galaxies out there. It's literally mind-blowing how many there are out there. Trillions of galaxies. In those galaxies, there's 100 billion solar systems, and in them solar systems, there's dozens and planets in each one of them. So there's trillions and trillions of planets. There's got to be life somewhere else. You're an alien right now living on the planet Earth. All the stuff you see that's alive around you is life coming from the planet Earth. 13.8 billion years ago, this universe started cooling down. 4.8 billion years, there's billions of planets that contain life in this Goldilocks zone and all that. And we've got life on other planets. So where's their gods for that one? And, you know, what does their life look like? So I'm saying to you, we're just aliens doing our thing, swimming through this ocean we call space. And we are in space. I have no doubt about that. And we're made up of what the space is made up of. You know, sun's created us. It's inside of us. So it's all explainable right up to the point where you got abiogenesis and single cell life and then DNA records and fossils. And all the information is on the atheist side, okay, where the facts lay and reality begins. Okay, the sixth, nicely moving on from that explanation, with the sixth reason is evolution, DNA, and dinosaurs. You can't explain any of them. Your God is completely against each one of them because we've looked in your books and you can't explain why they're not even mentioned in the books yet. It's something very important by human beings. So if you're saying that your God is omniscient and omnipotent and omnibenevolent and omni this and omni that, then he knows before, during, and in the future what's going to happen. Then he knew that mobile phones were going to be around 2,000 years from Jesus' death. And you'll be able to call people and tell what you think about it. And I'll be able to record myself talking to someone a million meters away from, I'd say miles, but, call myself. But you could say, I can be, if it was, it wouldn't have been interesting to me is if Joseph said, we'll be able to talk to our hands with people that are across the world. Jesus, sorry, not Joseph, prophecy, proper prophecies. Well, you see that shiny thing up there we call the moon? We will have people land, visit that moon soon, in the next 2,000 years. And one of them will be a Muslim, one of them. Why not? Why not? Why haven't we got anything like that? Because there was no God. There was no God to give that to a prophet, to put it in his book, to say that's a prophecy coming out. So there's nothing new under the sun, basically, in these books for the time period that they were created. Everyone knew everything. They knew how the body worked, blah, blah, blah. They had a basic idea. We know more now. That's why we got more information about the world now. So, Okay, number 7, Spider-Man exists in New York. We've talked about this. I've met Batman, I've met the Joker, I've met a lot of people at Comic-Con, and they were on my TV screen once, and I've met all these people, they're physically real, but you can't produce one person in the Bible, you can't give me their bones, you can't tell me where they're buried, you can't tell me anything else about them. And it's all happening in 1 square mile of everyone else. It's all happening in one area. In your 3 books, it's all happening in one area because we didn't really travel much back then. We traveled, and that's where we got all these stories from. Trading with each other stories and entertaining dialogue and poems and music. We only learned the basic stuff, and that's what we put in the Bible, Torah, Quran. All right, so we didn't put anything spectacular like as there's a Spider-Man swinging around New York with webs and stuff, or Harry Potter that can cast magic spells. We didn't do that. But it exists. It's fictional, but it exists. I can go and get a book now and show you what he looks like. I can't show you what anyone in the Bible looks like. Not one person. Okay, even though at the same time that these people are said to exist, there are busts of Roman generals and figures in society, and even people in art, in statues and artifacts and stuff like that. We see them on coins. We see their images on coins and stuff like that, but no images of anything written in the Bible. No one in the Bible's got a coin or a bust, a head and shoulders of them. No one. No one in the book. Pretty important people in the book, apparently. 8. There's no need for any gods. I talk with people all the time because I'm interested to know why they believe in this stuff. So I say to them, "Are you happy?" "Yes, I have my God. I'm happy." Have you got ambitions? And yeah, yes, but by the grace of God, I will achieve them. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So that's because you've got your God. I'm an atheist since I was a little boy. I've never prayed for anything from a God apart from saying, "Can I find my keys? Can you give me £1,000,000?" Those kind of prayers. Then I grew up and said and found out for real what I'm doing is rubbish. So it's just I'm better off doing the Marshall thing, which is meditation, and thinking out myself and completely focus and concentrate and find out for myself. But I'm happy because of what I've gone through. It's made me stronger, more aware of myself, and I find my weaknesses and I'm working on them. And I'm not perfect, but I understand I can get better. And then if I'm getting close to life and I ain't got much time for making myself much more better, I better everyone I meet. Everyone I meet must be made better because they've met me. That is the reason for humanity continuing. That is the absolute reason why humanity continues. Okay, because we have empathy, we understand we're here for each other, we're weak without each other, weaker without each other, I should say. So there's no need for any God. I mean, you grow up happy without God, you grow up happy with a God. So therefore, it makes gods irrelevant, doesn't it? Uh, they're not required. They may have been back in the day. My God's better than yours. Better follow me. And we had some degree of control, and we got bills paid, and taxes were taken, and and wars were won. Anyway, so number 9, and another one. I realised this because I had to go to. I was in Boys Brigade. It's like Boy Scouts back in the day. Boys Brigade is a Methodist thing in the church. So we used to meet on Wednesdays in Luton. We used to learn useful stuff. You normally preparing you to go camping, so you could tie a knot and cut down wood trees and start a fire, all that kind of crazy great stuff that men in children's bodies love to learn about, because we're wild creatures back then. And we needed to have a semblance of we're saving the world by learning this stuff. Anyway, I became a senior, and so therefore I had to carry the banners in the church on Sundays. And I was like, why? Why do I have to do this? I hate church. It gets on my damn nerves. It's ridiculous. I like the singing. The songs are great. Entertainment's fine, but it's boring. Why? And so I used to have to go out and get the tithes. collect the tithes from upstairs. I'll come down with a bag full of change. And I'm like, what? What is, okay, where's this money going? You know, I was 15 years old at this point, wondering, what's this for? What's this money for? Where's it going? How comes you ain't paying me out of this? What's going on? You know? So, yeah, I did some tricky stuff on the way back to the pulpit where I was supposed to give the ring. And I had my money out of that bag and in my pocket. And there was a sweet shop next to it that I used to buy sweets for everyone when we come out. So it was our little grift that we did back then. I'm certain I'm going to hell. Uh, don't worry about me. I'm the devil's got his marker on me. You know what I mean? Can't you see it? Okay. So I'm always wondering why God needs money and power. Why does he need a building? Why does he need any of this rubbish? And it just dawns on me that anyone who says they understand what God needs because they've read the book and they understand it is not to make it to wild, but con men. I never had any other thought, but they're getting money out of the people for and what they're doing with it. I never saw anything happening in the community with money from the church. Is because I was a little child, I didn't realize what they were doing with it. Later on, you see, people getting fed and clothes being bought and homes being given and aids being going around the world, and yeah, you saw it. But again, when you found out what the tax bracket was, 501c3, is 5% has to go back to the community. So 95% can go towards your Porsche. Anyway, I found that out quite a bit. All right, 10. Number 10, we finally made it. Gods have been created by men to control others. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. People always saying, some people were saying like, who do you think that the Big Bang was caused by something? And I was supposed to say, what, your God? Why? For what reason? Why would he need to do that? And I say, no, it just always existed. And what's the cause of the Big Bang? Who knows? Gravity, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. It does not matter to me. Why does it matter to you? How do you think you can express the feelings of a God? Who wrote this down? Who saw it happen and wrote it down? Who asked God how it all started and then wrote it down? You're guessing, bruv, and you're guessing in towards your goal, which is to get me to think that your God did everything, when in fact, because I'm an atheist, I take it from the point of view that there are no gods. So how did it happen? You see what I'm saying? So it's more science approach. Science approach will get us the answer one day. Not yet, but one day. It's helped us find out why lightning strikes, why weather changes, why there are earthquakes, why, and it's not down to your God, it's down to science, natural things happening around the planet. So men created everything, including your God. And if it's created, it can't be creation, can it? It can't be the creator. Yeah? Yeah. If your God was the first and therefore, it made it everything from itself and it made itself out of nothing, you're defeated already. Anyway, any questions, put them on a postcard and send them to me. I'm at Sifu BLAPPS, Sifu _ BLAPPS, BLAPPS, Sifu SIFU BLAPPS @protonmail.com if you've got any questions. If you want me to make another video with another 10 reasons, because I've got hundreds of them, but these are my go-to 10. I just want replies from this. I want to find out if anyone can actually reply to any of these. And if you want me to do another video, I'll do another one. I have got a channel, YouTube channel, BLAPPS U2, BLAPPS, BLAPPS, the letter U, the number 2, BLAPPS U2, where I teach martial arts. I show martial arts technique. I have a BLAPPS experience show, which is like a live show for like a podcast, but it's a show like a video DJ. And yeah, so a lot of entertaining stuff out there that I'll put out. Check it out. I'm going to get a complete attack on me from this video, I'm pretty sure, but at the same time, balancing all that, it might clarify to some religious people that I might need to either up their game with what they're talking about, or they can understand where we come from. If you're trying to get us to believe like you, I mean, you're going to have to give us something else. Scripture is not going to do it. It's not going to, I'm not impressed at all. So yeah, BLAPPS U2 on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. You have been BLAPPSed. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.